Hello, welcome back to the Drummond channel. I'm going to continue with the same charts I was using in the last video to add in quarterly information. And I made the data window a little bit bigger so it's much more easy to see. And from here, you'll have the information. It'll take you at least up until the end of March, the end of the first quarter. This will give you some good ideas of where the strength and resistance lies in these higher time periods. Get those on your charts and integrate those into the lower time periods, for whatever type of trading you're doing. Okay, so let's get started. So tonight, let's get started with silver, and each of these charts has the quarterly and the yearly envelope overlay on it. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Probably talked enough about the overall strength and weakness of each of these markets. And now that the quarterly is on top, you can see how that is starting to make the picture a little bit clearer. And you can tell again on silver that the market is pushing this down, and we talked about this 6-1 down here is a potential target and the envelope bottom for the quarterly chart. And you can see all the numbers over here nice and big, so you can grab those and they'll correspond. It's color coded. How could you go wrong? So that's it for silver. You can pause the video and grab the numbers off of here and then put them on your charts. Next up is the 10-year Treasury note, and yearly PL dot is still pushing down. Quarterly PL dot is still pushing down, but it started to move sideways, and this wasn't a congestion entrance bar, but it was close. And now we're sitting on top of the quarterly PL dot. So quarterly support is coming in here at the 6-1 up, way down there at the quarterly envelope bottom, and then we've got a couple of envelope tops up above where we are. So the yearly trend is still down, but we're in probably a yearly PL dot refresh, as I said yesterday. Now on the crude oil, and crude oil is coming up off of this yearly PL dot here. You can see that the yearly PL dot is pushing up, and it's going to run into quarterly resistance. And should it get through that, then there is a boatload of resistance up in this area. So that's up in the $90 range. This whole area up here. It'll be interesting to see if the market gets up there, what takes place, and whether that becomes strong or if it starts to break. But right now, the way crude oil looks, it's going to run into this PL dot resistance, and we'll see how that unfolds on the monthly, on the weekly, and on the daily. And this is the last chart is the S&P 500 E-mini, and we talked about the yearly chart was pushing up, but it's running into a lot of resistance, and this long upward move in these markets may be about done or ready for a pause. But I didn't say last night, and I think it's important to note it, we're awfully close to an all-time high, and the psychology of that is likely that we'll punch through that previous all-time high back in 22. It may not happen right away. It appears that we're in some sort of PL dot refresh, whether it's on this. You can see it, the quarterly PL dot and yearly PL dot down here. It's quite a bit lower than where we're at, but it's been a big push up, and a PL dot refresh wouldn't be out of the ordinary. So for resistance areas in this market, there's quite a bit up here, and for support, there's quite a bit down here, and that is if it gets through here. So I think there's strong support, two higher time period PL dots pushing up, and we're in a PL dot refresh probably on a monthly basis, maybe a quarterly basis, and that'll give you an idea to where to start to look for this market perhaps to bottom and maybe turn around and take out that previous high. And then from there, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Now a little bit of logistics here. Housekeeping. If you're new to Drummond methodology, these points here, these are called Drummond lines, and you've probably seen this before. We connect these in certain ways, and we come up with these Drummond lines, and then the data box has the values over here. And when you start looking at this, it can make the chart messy in a hurry, and especially when you get a lower time period and you get more information. So what the silver version of the software and above allows you to do is put these in as support and resistance areas. So the Drummond lines that coincide in this area are the nearby. The ones out in this area are the farther out resistance, nearby support, farther out support. Makes the chart a lot easier to digest. And from this perspective, you can see that for instance, on this quarterly basis, these are the nearby support areas, and they're still pushing up. And so this market is retracing down into this nearby support area, is further bolstered by the quarterly and the yearly PL dot. So this makes up a lot of support. And then we talked about getting up here into this resistance area and this yearly envelope top and the 6-1 down. So what you can see over here on the left in the data box are the values for each of those nearby and farther out support areas. So that makes your chart a lot easier to, I guess, user-friendly, easier on the eyes, and less congestion. It's good to get those actual numbers because each of those Drummond lines has value. It's just a matter of how many things you want to see on your chart at one time. Now, if again, take your time, pause the video. You can drag the numbers out from the data box, and if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you for watching. If you like the videos, please like them and share them, and we'll see you again next time.